Hello everyone, it's me, Nikki, and today I'm here with a book review. I entered a book giveaway on Twitter months ago, like right before quarantine, um, and I won a copy of The Glowing, book 1 by Tom Reimer. And it's a sci-fi book. I believe there's going to be 3. And I got my notebook that I made my notes in. Let's find it. Yeah, it's good. It's 48 chapters, 186 pages. It's just a short sci-fi book. It goes along pretty quickly. There's not a whole lot of downtime. Like, probably the most downtime you get is at the beginning when everybody's being introduced. The cover, I will say a few things about the cover, because the cover looks pretty good on camera. I think that's a dog hair on it. Yeah, it was dog hair. And it looks very good on the pictures on Twitter. But, and this is probably just me, when the dark text hits the dark purple, it looks hard to read. Like it looks really nice on camera, but in person, all the dark on dark was hard for me to read. But I think that's just me because, look, and they have the second cover out, and there's a huge fucking spider on it, so that's something that will never be seen in my house. It will always be the spine. I hate spiders. Anyway, this is about a group of kids in high school who, along with their teacher, go to watch a comet pass overhead in Massachusetts. I think it's Adams, Massachusetts, which I don't know if that's a real place. And a lot of the chapters are from different characters' points of view, but I guess the main character is Cameron Coe, also known as Cam. And she didn't want to go on this trip, but she did eventually because her friend talked her into it. And Cam is raised by a single mom, and she doesn't know her dad except for one picture. And the whole thing has like a very 80s vibe to it, like a group of kids, one adult, and then, so they go up to this mountain and they watch this comet or meteor, whatever, it's comet, but what it turns out to be is actually a bunch of meteors, and it basically destroys their town, and they're only safe because they were up high enough. And purple is pretty much a theme, like not just the cover, but these meteors come down, and the glowing is in fact purple. There are like purple rocks, and the aliens, because it is aliens, are purple. Like when they sort of poof into dust like vampires from Buffy. When they do that, it's purple. So it turns out to be aliens, but they don't know that at first, and they've just watched their whole town be destroyed. And when they go down there, they find out it's all gone. So they've lost all their families, all their friends, and it's just a shock. And then the aliens show up, and these aliens do not fuck around. They have a bus driver who is eaten. So there is lots of blood and gore on that level. And the aliens can kind of speak broken English. They're mostly saying girl and human. So they're looking for a human girl, I assume. And then, let's see. The group gets separated, which isn't good, because the aliens jump on them, and they all sort of scatter. So they have the teacher is with 2 kids. 5 kids go one way, and then Cam and another kid, Gabe, go another way. So that's 3 groups. And Gabe is very weird straight off the bat. Like, he's got a backpack full of supplies, and Cam's like, what are you doing? And he's got like a yellow thing that sort of destroys the aliens, and she's like, what the fuck? And he cannot tell her. And then, you know, they go, the other group, the teacher, Mr. Flowers, and Cam's friend Lucy, and what was the guy's name? I knew them all. Olin. Olin. They go to like a supermarket, but the aliens are there too, and Lucy gets hurt, and she gets knocked out, and I think it's just from like the alien sort of choking her and throwing her, and when she eventually wakes up, it's like she's having visions from the alien's point of view, and it's weird, and I don't think that's explained, but it might be in later books. And 2 of the students do die, and it's not super graphic, but it's not, I mean, like, one gets impaled and one gets torn apart. So there is that, if that sort of freaks you out. Let's see, what else do I got here? I don't want to say too much because of spoilers. There is a bully character, but he's like, it's like the trope bully character who's only a bully because he had like a shitty, he has a shitty home life, but he's a really nice guy. They have a chainsaw weapon, which works against zombies, so why not aliens? And then at some point, all the groups meet up, but not, like Cam and Gabe meet up with Lucy and the teacher and Olin, but then they go away again, and then Mr. Flowers meets with the other kids. At one point, Gabe and Cam get captured, and they're about to be, they see their other teachers and their principal who are murdered in front of them. So it's basically traumatic for the kids from the minute the meteors hit to the end. What else? I liked the ending, because you're not sure what's going to happen to 2 characters, and then the rest, because there's a school bus that they have throughout the whole thing, the rest just sort of go and leave their town and look, because I think the meteors hit the whole planet. So it does say that like there are some communities that have survived, so that's where they're off to. So there is a hopeful ending, but it is definitely setting up for the next book as well, because it ends on "this isn't over," because the aliens are not going to give up. So let's see. There is a twist. Is it a twist? There's a reveal, middle-ish of the book, I suppose. And then a lot of other stuff makes sense, and you're like, oh, okay. What else? I think, I had a couple of printing errors. There's sometimes, I know I've seen some people do this, and I didn't know if it was intentional, and then I found out it wasn't. When there's quotes, the quotes are like right up next to each other, which I don't personally like, but I believe that's a printing error. And so this is the first edition, so obviously there's going to be printing errors. So I wasn't bothered by it. I just thought I would point them out. It's by Shadowspark Publishing, which I believe is a small publishing company. So I'm not gonna like yell at them for the publishing errors, but that is there. So if that bothers you, you might wait. I don't know. Do printing errors bother people? I guess, well, it didn't really bother me. I just noticed them. There are two characters, Wyatt and James, I believe, who are seniors, and they started this club, the Astronomy Club, which is why they were going to watch the comet, and they are both the geek trope, like overweight, unwashed, annoying. I was sort of bothered by that, because I know that's how some geeks are, but not all geeks. I'm a geek, and I'm not like that. So, I mean, I guess it sort of goes in with that 80s trope, but I just didn't always sit well with me, but that's just me. Also, the girls scream a lot, which, understandable, but also, like, why do the girls just have to scream? So just, like, this is just me, my personal opinion. But also one of the female characters, Danny, is on a motor, four-wheeler, and she basically plows into an alien and destroys it. So that's fun, too. And yeah, so those are just little things. There's also one character who just, like, I don't want to say the spoiler, but they basically, like, cause the death of another character because they've just become so, like, closed off at this point, and they end up all alone, and you're like, what is happening? Because I want to know what happens to them. So yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a good sci-fi. It was different sci-fi than I normally read. I normally read like Star Wars, spaceships type of sci-fi. This is like sci-fi on Earth with aliens. I loved the 80s feel. And I just thought it was a good read. I am looking forward to the sequel. So I would recommend The Glowing. You know, just watch out for those little things I mentioned if they bother you. If not, you'll enjoy it. I mean, I enjoyed it, but you know what I mean. I'm still trying to work on reviewing books better because I think that's a skill I need to expand upon. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you're having a lovely day. Goodbye!